Welcome to Inspire and Move, the show that inspires you to create, connect, and grow. I'm going to bring you meaningful conversations, aha moments, and all the motivation you need to up-level every part of your life. I'm Ally Arruda, founder of Inspire and Move, and your personal hype girl. I've gone from fashion school to celebrity stylist to corporate marketing to brick-and-mortar entrepreneurship with my husband, each time learning incredible lessons how to pivot, reimagine, and implement the steps to become successful. I'm passionate about inspiring others to live their best life, a life of joy. We have the power to design a life that we love, because life is too short not to. The best part is that you weren't meant to do this alone. If you feel like you are meant for more, let me ride shotgun with you, and together, let's get you to where you want to go. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Inspire and Move podcast. I'm your host, Ally Arruda, and today we have a very special guest on the show. It is actually an Ally party of two, so I am so excited to welcome our very special guest, Ally Mamalider, who is the second generation founder and president of Organic Traditions. And we were just chatting before we hit record, and I was trying to tell Ally, I was like, when was my first Organic Traditions moment? And I think it was definitely picking up a pantry item from Whole Foods when I lived in Toronto. And I am so excited because we were going to chat all about the evolution of the brand and the amazing growth that it has had. So Ally, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me.
So exciting. And I was saying to our videographer, Matt, that he's been really excited about this podcast episode because he's also a health and wellness junkie, as am I. And I'm so pumped to have you here.
Same. No, I'm so excited to be here. And again, sorry to Matt that he missed out on a special box.
Some snacks and
bring
some
him
treats.
Something.
But we need to start with the fact that you are the second generation founder. And even kind of for some people listening, they might be like, wait, what? Founder, second generation founder? Give me the tea.
Okay. So I'll do like a Cole's Notes version of like the story of our brand and like why am I called a second generation founder and what does that mean? And so basically for anyone who doesn't know, Organic Traditions is a superfoods brand, and we're all about making it simple and easy for you to incorporate superfoods into your everyday life. That's ranging things from, pantry staples like goji berries and chia seeds to things that are like more functional beverages, matcha, mushroom coffee, smoothie mixes, that kind of thing. So just so people know what we're talking about when we say superfoods, because some people still don't know what exactly that means.
What is that, kale?
Yeah. And it's the definition of a superfood. Sorry for like this long-winded answer, but the definition is just things that are really, really nutrient dense. So you're getting a lot of micro and nutrients in a very small portion of food, essentially.
And you were even telling me with the goodies that you brought me, thank you so much, that there are a lot of probiotics in your products.
Yes. Yeah, so we're super focused on gut health, and for the past number of years, we incorporate heat and shelf-stable probiotics into a lot of our blend, just so you get that extra boost of digestive health, gut support, and you don't taste anything, and it's just in there helping boost your health. But to answer your question, so second generation founder, my dad is a serial entrepreneur. I come from a family of entrepreneurs. I always knew I was going to be an entrepreneur. But when he was in his mid-40s, he was in the construction industry, completely sick, overweight, unhealthy, stressed out, just definitely not living in alignment, not aware of anything health and wellness related, and just kind of going through life. And he sort of had an internal epiphany, I guess, and started reading a lot of books and really became his own guru. This is in the 90s when you can't just walk into a health food store and like buy a cleanse or green juice or any of that stuff like the way it is today. This had not, health and wellness wasn't a trend back then like it is now. And he really took his health into his own hands at that point. He started traveling to India and studying Ayurvedic medicine, traveling to Japan and learning about matcha. He went to Peru and learned about cacao ceremony. And he really just became very, very passionate about traditional medicinal systems of other cultures outside of the Western culture. And he did a complete 360 on his health. 360 or 180? Yeah, 180.
180?
Yeah.
One turn, yeah.
He did a full U-turn on his
He was
health.
so excited he did 2 turns.
Yeah. And he healed his own health very holistically. He literally dropped 60 pounds. He looked 15 years younger, like all the things that sound like it's like a miracle. But
Okay, wait, for context, how old are you when you were watching your dad's transformation?
I guess I was between 7 and 12
Okay.
ish. Yeah.
Okay, grade school.
Yeah. Yeah. So like I was aware of it, but not like super, super aware of exactly what he was doing. He just got really healthy and then he became passionate to the point of like fanatical, like very obsessive.
And did that trickle into how you were, I say
Yeah.
raised, but like your home in terms of what was in your pantry, what was in your fridge, how you would
Oh,
eat?
1,000%. We were taking supplements every morning before school. I was the house that always had crazy powders and like potions and stuff everywhere. I never had the lunch anyone wanted to trade with me at school. No Dunkaroos for me. None of the stuff everyone else was eating. And at the time, I don't think I appreciated it as much as I do now, obviously. I'm like,
Girl,
that's
same.
great. That's great. I was in a very holistic household. My mom's actually like a 25-year yoga teacher. So like my parents are hippies.
Okay, I love it.
And yeah, so they really doubled down into this health craze, especially after like he did that whole U-turn. And he pivoted from the business that he was in and said, nothing brings him more joy than seeing other people benefit from the knowledge that he's able to share with them.
I love that.
So he made this his entire new business. He started the brand Organic Traditions. He wanted to be able to like bottle up these superfoods and make them something that was common for people to consume and to enjoy. And nobody was really doing that at the time. Like we are really that OG brand that was first packaging these kinds of simple superfoods for people. And so, fast forward a number of years, I had been involved in the brand this entire time, kind of watching him build this supply chain, take these trips, working at trade shows. Growing up, all our free time was like at the health food store, reading labels. That was like going to Whole Foods in the US was like, because we didn't have it in Canada at that
Right.
time, was like a field trip. Like that was like a big deal. And I knew that I was always going to end up working in this brand and leading this brand, but I didn't know at the time what that would look like or what that meant. And luckily, I really waited until I was ready because if you've only ever worked in a family business or that's all you know, it's extremely hard to add value, to not have blinders on, and to be able to see what needs to be done differently or done better to drive growth or to make a change. And so I kind of like, he'd been asking me my adult life, like, let's work together. Like, I could use your help. Don't you want to be part of Organic Traditions? And I was always like, yes, 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 but not yet.
Right.
And so, fast forward to 2017, I was working in corporate communications at Fairmont Hotels and Resorts at their corporate offices in Toronto.
Nice.
And it was an incredible job. I probably never would have left that company. They have an incredible culture. I was traveling to beautiful hotels all over the world.
Yeah, wouldn't your hotel rate be like $75 or something
Yes.
amazing?
Oh, they had an incredible friends and family like
Yes.
discount. I probably never would have walked away from that because I love to travel. But 2017, I'm seeing juice bars popping up everywhere. I'm seeing health and wellness blogs blowing up. I'm seeing health food stores getting busier. And I'm really seeing like the culture shifting to this lifestyle of health and wellness in a way that had been different than anything I'd been seeing as part of someone that was like watching this industry from the inside for so many years. And that's when I decided like I'm really ready to go into this business knowing that I'm not going to like come out.
Yeah.
And formally joined the team at that point. My dad and I overlapped for about a year. And then he's like, okay, you got this. He's not the retirement type. So he didn't go retire, but he fully came out of the business, fully hands off. And that was almost 9 years ago. So I've been growing and leading the team ever since then. And that's the story of what second generation founder means, essentially.
What a beautiful story. And I just love the lineage of what that history is for your dad's connection to starting the brand, that it comes from a deep rooted place of passion. And I really respect that you weren't jumping in head foot right away, or head feet, head toes, that you wanted to really wait until you were ready, because I think ultimately that allows you to pour in way more value to the brand, the products, your team, and the growth strategy.
That's it exactly. Like I was coming from a totally different industry, but a company that had 50,000 global employees. Like I was able to see how you could scale something successfully, how to communicate better, how you can really grow a business and run a team. And I wouldn't have otherwise. I was there for almost 5.5 years and did a number of other things in between as well. So otherwise wouldn't have been able to add that value, and we'd be in a very different place right now.
Okay, so it is like week one. Ally has stepped into the founder role of Organic Traditions. What was your immediate thought?
It's so funny because I remember the first thing I did was I had a one-on-one meeting with every single employee. It took hours, but I wanted to hear from every single person on our team. What's working? What can we do better? What do you envision for the brand and the company? And what needs to change for us to grow?
Great.
And I got great insights. A lot of like hunches were confirmed or new information came to light. And let me just say, like, we were in a good place, but the brand had so much untapped opportunity. That's what made me excited about being like, okay, I'm going to finally do this.
Yeah.
And it was like, how are we going to get there? So within that first week, having those one-on-ones with everyone, hearing from the people that have been in the business day to day, because I think like I can't come in and pretend as his daughter, like I know what's best. I was very conscious of that and how that looked. And I wanted to just be able to like make a positive change. And I had this whiteboard where I just literally started like writing down everything that needed to happen. And it was like a massive, just like disaster of work, like
Creative flow.
shipping, like packaging, manufacturing, like what are we going to do about all these different things? And I think I have a picture of it. I should honestly find it because like we've probably tackled everything on that. But it's funny how I thought that in that first, like this will get done in like the next 6 weeks, like jokes on me because that's not how it goes, but it's been a journey.
I love that. I remember my first day when my husband and I bought our gym, which is now Benchmark Fitness. I sat down in the office and I was like, okay, great. How do I run this? I'm so excited, but I'm not really sure what to do.
Yeah.
And I love that you had a tactical plan already on day one or week one of being able to meet one-on-one with everyone.
I mean, I wouldn't even say I had a tactical plan. I just knew that I didn't know what I didn't know. And I wanted to get everybody's feedback and I wanted to have their buy-in for anything that I was going to initiate as well.
Absolutely. That is fair. I applaud that. Okay, so now it's still early days of you in the founder role at Organic Traditions. What was your first big vision that came to you that you wanted to create in terms of the growth strategy for the company?
I wanted to bring us online. We had been brick and mortar retail across Canada for years, but there hadn't really been any kind of push to digital. This is 2017 when Instagram is like the peak app.
Yeah.
And people are blogging and people are starting to really push e-commerce websites. Amazon wasn't really taking off as much as it is today, but definitely e-com websites and just having more of a digital social presence was how I felt like we could really grow to the next level. So started putting that in place. I built out our first website, which is so funny because we just launched a brand new one last month. But the site that I built within that first year is what carried us at least until the next
Until this
8
like
years.
massive phase.
Yeah.
Wow, that's
Yeah.
amazing. And you guys just celebrated 25 years.
Yeah. in
Congratulations.
September. Thank you.
And happy birthday. Happy 25 years.
It's crazy.
Fun
Yeah.
fact as a side note, when we were emailing, chatting about getting this interview set up, and I was looking at your email signature and I was like, okay, founder, 25 years. I'm like, I really have to do a deep dive on
I
Ally
know.
because like,
How old is she? What's
yeah,
going on?
was she 5 when she started this company? And then understood that it was your dad. So
Yeah.
that was fun. I wish there was like a video camera on my face when I realized
I know. It was just like second generation founder and president sounds quite long.
Yeah.
And the thing is I am a second generation founder and he built such a strong foundation. But at the same time, like we're a completely different company. We've grown, I've led the team to more than double in revenue and double in team size from when I started it. And I was given this incredibly strong foundation, but I'm definitely still thinking of myself as a founder, not
Absolutely.
a partner, not an employee. Like we had to evolve and grow the brand and tap into that potential. And so I like to say like if people think I was given like a Rolls Royce to drive away in, that's not the case. I had a Honda Civic that was extremely beat up with like the engine falling out of
maybe some
it,
duct tape,
and tuned it up and then traded it in and continued to evolve it. So that's more what happened. But yeah, the founder, second generation founder, it's also like a bit of imposter syndrome around that whole sort of theme as well of like, no, I'm going to call myself a founder because I feel like I'm the second part founder of this brand that otherwise wouldn't be doing what it's doing.
Absolutely. Okay, so I love, well, I don't love imposter syndrome. I actually strongly dislike it. But how do you navigate that? What tools do you use?
Just, it's been a constant journey. I think I had a lot of it in the early days, which I'm sure most people would, but like I said, I wanted to have everyone's buy-in. I wanted to feel confident in my decision. So I really just tapped into like asking for help, admitting I don't know everything, asking everyone what's going on, and then it goes away a little bit, but then big things come up and it comes back, and I don't know if it ever fully goes away, but I just constantly remind myself what I've accomplished along the way as much as I can.
What are you most proud of?
I think I'm most proud of everything we've done in the last year because we brought on an advisory board. We launched this new website. I scaled the leadership team. We're bringing new product to market. Like, just the amount of growth we've experienced in the past 12 months and the fact that I've kind of kept it all together and we're seeing so much momentum is what's made me the most proud.
That's a lot for 1 year, which, first of all, congratulations on that, because those are, I think, as entrepreneurs, founders, CEOs, presidents, it can be so easy to get overwhelmed with our list that we have, what we want to accomplish and what we want to achieve and grow. So sometimes it can be quite challenging to take a very well-deserved pause to celebrate those wins.
I really had to force myself to take the pause because it's funny, the weekend that we launched the rebrand, we had CHFA, which is like a big trade show. So it was the first time that all of our retail partners, people from our community, they were going to see the rebrand in real life and kind of like be able to touch and feel it. And everything was sort of unveiled to the industry. And everyone kept asking me, like, how do you feel? Are you so happy? Are you so excited? And I was like, I'm happy, I'm excited, I'm relieved, but I'm also like dead inside. Like, I'm just like, it's like, what's next? What do I have to do now? Like, I couldn't like enjoy the moment. And I kept telling myself, like, you have to stop and enjoy the moment. So I finally took like 2 days off the following week to just like pause because I'd been going nonstop for months and months, and it just it required a sprint to get there. I'm very much not about like glamorizing like overworking or like, oh, I was working till 3 a.m. and I have like my bedtime and my routines, believe me. But I think sometimes when you're the founder, it doesn't matter when you delegate the size of your team. There are just some things that are so important that it's a sprint and you have to run through walls, and that's the reality. So not to sugarcoat it, but yeah, I forced myself to take the pause, and it was great.
What do you do so in a time like this where you took 2 days off? I love to know, I think, as a fellow entrepreneur, like, how did you spend those days?
I went to Trove.
Oh, love
Have you been to
Trove.
Huge fan.
Love them, and I love the founders.
Yes, we're doing an event there in November, so you should come.
Okay,
for
I'll be
sure.
there.
I went to Trove for like a full day retreat actually that they had for female founders because I knew I needed to like force myself into an environment to like just reflect and slow down. And if I was just, staying home, I'd end up doing other errands or kind of going around.
Organizing the laundry room, maybe.
My go-to for like taking a break is always self-care. Like, I love sauna, cold plunge. I love to do all that stuff for myself. I love to be at the spa. So like for me, that sounds like a perfect day. So that's what I did for that.
I love that. Okay, we're aligned. Ally and Ally, we unite. Okay, going back to, I love what you said about sprints and also not glamorizing like working till 3 a.m. Matt and I were just recording an episode about this before we started recording, talking about different seasons that we as entrepreneurs, but for sure people, that are employees and working in corporate, this happens for you as well. But between, sprint seasons, momentum, growth season, rebuild, rest, and reset, what season do you feel like you're in right now?
I think I'm still in a little bit of a sprint. I'm in the
Yep.
tail end of a sprint. I'm not in the thick of it as much anymore, but I think until December, I'm really very much still in a sprint. And then it'll be a bit of a reset starting in January.
Love that.
Yeah, it's been months and months of just very intense additional work on top of just leading the team. I mentioned to you that I had trained for this triple marathon called 29 on
Yes.
29. So for some reason added that in just to further intensify what I had on my plate, and I don't regret it. But yeah, I'm just in the tail end of this sprint for sure.
So this sprint, or especially looking back at this, year-long growth journey, that you've achieved some really big things that for some people might just want to do one of those things in a year, and you've knocked multiple out of the park. Where did that start? Like, was there a catalyst that started that vision of growth, or was it just something that so happened to be like, okay, no, this is the time where we're going to celebrate 25 years, rebrand, new website?
Well, I I've had a vision for the brand since 2017. I've just known that like we weren't being as bold as we could. We weren't reaching our full potential. And we internally really needed to get focused. We needed absolute clarity and discipline to get there. So we actually started an internal workshop series with, I brought on an advisory board.
Okay.
And that was incredible. I think as a founder, I'm not reporting to anyone, right? So I still need mentors and people I can speak with and get feedback from because I don't have a manager doing my review. I do it for multiple people, but no one does it on me, right? Like
Yep.
they give me feedback, but it's not the same. So we brought on an advisory board. We went through an 18-month process to look at our brand positioning, customer insights, again, what's going well, what's not going well, but on a completely different scale, getting feedback from hundreds and hundreds of existing customers. And we took all of that and honestly stripped the entire strategy of our company from the inside out. Like, where do we want to grow? Is it digital? Is it in the US or is it in Canada? How are we going to get there in our marketing? Are we putting all of our eggs into Amazon paid advertising, or should we do more podcasts, or what's it going to be? We became so laser focused on like our growth strategy and then the tactics to get there that it then just all started to crystallize. And luckily, because I have a team, I'm like, well, we're not just going to pick one thing and each year we do that one thing. Like, we have a lot we can accomplish and we need to put the strategy in place, lay it out for everyone, let it trickle down through the team, which, by the way, probably the way I'm talking sounds like we're 200 people. We're not. We're 50 people in our team,
Wow.
just to clarify. But we got so clear communicating where the brand is going and what the vision is that I feel honestly like it just started to flow more easily across everyone.
And did you have to hire additional team members in this process?
We've definitely scaled the team internally throughout this time, and we've also worked with a lot of external parties. So, one partner that we worked with was Design of Brand for the actual new identity. They're amazing. They did, Othership and Nut Bar, Greenhouse Juice Co.
Oh, very aligned partners.
Yeah, so Sarah, the founder there, she really just understands like the wellness consumer. And we talked a lot with the rebrand about not wanting to lose the heart of organic traditions, not wanting to make it look like a random Instagram brand that had like popped up 2 days ago. Like, we really needed to keep the soul of the brand alive. And they were very aligned and like understanding of that. So yeah, it was just like a massive evolution of getting really, really, really clear. I found in business that like we're always all trying to do too much. And when we can keep coming back to what's our strategy and what's the why, it really helps us move faster.
It's so funny that you're saying this because I've been having this conversation with myself and my husband that I just finished a great book called What Great Brands Do. And it was all about branding because our business, Benchmark Fitness, is 6.5 years old. And we have big goals and visions for the brand. And so I felt like I needed a little refresher on getting like refired up about the brand strategy.
Yeah.
And not necessarily like, oh, we need a new logo because I love our branding, but just really getting deeply connected to the brand and what its purpose is and how we want to impact lives and be that positive addition to people's day, which would be very similar to a lot of the organic traditions products, that you would be a daily consumption product for millions of people.
Well, it sounds so simple, but when you apply that as a filter and you keep going back to it as you should, it makes every decision so much easier. But we needed to like remove a lot of clutter internally. We also sell like 120 products. So it's like, well, which ones are we going to grow? Not everything can be a top seller. Like if there's 120, there's a number 120 and there's a number 1. So how are we even pivoting marketing dollars now? Like where does this all fall?
Okay, so that was literally my next question was roughly how many SKUs, products do you have? And in this growth phase, have you had to say goodbye to some products, adding new ones, of course?
Yeah, so the thing that I guess, unless you're in like a product-based business, people probably don't think about is how much cash is tied up in carrying inventory of multiple items, both US and Canadian packaging, and then the raw material that goes into everything. And for a brand that's trying to scale and grow, like not having great cash flow is the kiss of death. And so again, that internal discipline of like, what's not a top seller? Is it because it needs more marketing attention and we really believe that this has legs to continue to scale? Or is it something that we should have the discipline to be willing to like cut? And so we've made a lot of cuts in the last year and a half, and there's been so much like internal turmoil and discussion, but it's so freeing because every time we cut something, now we're opening up everyone's time and resources to promote what is working and what people do love and they're so passionate about and what's scaling. And so for us, this is also goes back to the strategy of like, if we want to make superfood simple for people, we need our portfolio to be more simple. We need you to be able to come to our website and understand like what the smoothie mixes are for, what the mushroom coffees are for, and what the pantry staples are for. And that can't be like just a mishmash of like 120 things in your face. So we really got intentional about how is the product portfolio presented to our customers and what are we taking away. So there's less choice, but more than enough choice. And it's just easier for them to navigate.
Did you feel as, founder, but growing up with the brand, was there a moment in this process where you felt sad saying goodbye to some products?
Yeah, like I'm still sad with some. There's one that's getting cut called Yacon syrup that I still think it's a sleeping giant. And it's a prebiotic natural sweetener from Peru. It's like a fibrous syrup. It tastes kind of like maple syrup.
Okay.
But like a bit smoky.
Ooh.
And literally my kids put it on anything. Anytime they don't want to eat something, I'm just like, oh, like, do you want Yacon syrup on it? And then they'll eat it. Like,
call in the Yacon.
Yeah, literally it's the craziest thing. Like it doesn't matter if it's vegetables, steak, whatever. Like it's sweet and kind of savory.
Like a mezcal maple syrup.
Yeah. So I'm going to really miss that. I'm like, I still think we should put it in a squeeze bottle and relaunch it. But that's where everyone's like, Allie, but like we need to focus on the 80% over here.
Totally. So, like I'm speaking from my passion.
Yeah. Or like during COVID, we launched like energy bites and pancakes, and they're so incredible. They're prebiotic. It's with like green banana flour, all these great things, but it's not the categories that have the most potential to continue to scale. And so even though they're great products, not everything can be your number one top seller. And it's hard to also convince a retailer to sell 100 things. Some of them do. Like we have great partners who like literally sell every Organic Traditions product, but usually you're going to have like a set of like 20 SKUs in a store, which even that is considered a lot in the CPG industry. And so it's like, we need the right ones there, the ones that are going to turn the highest and for our retail partner, make them the most money and allow them to go into as many hands as possible.
Oh my gosh, okay, my follow-up questions to these are number one selling product category from what you are offering, and then your number one selling product.
So our superfood lattes is the number one category still, and the matcha latte is the number one selling product.
Ooh, and that's one I've been so excited to try. I can't wait to go home and make one.
Matcha is just continuously blown up. We've had this product since 2014, I believe. but it's just getting bigger and bigger and bigger every single year.
It is truly amazing. I think as being a, cousin to a superfoods brand, being in like fitness space, well, I'll call it adjacent cousin, that it is so, I mean, it makes me so happy seeing the growth of like health, wellness, and fitness, that we are now collectively in this $1 trillion industry.
Yeah. Uh, like I said, since 2017, I saw so much growth and potential, but I really feel like it's in the last 2 or 3 years that it's shifted to more of like, this is a lifestyle. And I don't know if it's because Gen Z is also so tapped into being healthier, but it's blown up in a way that, as someone that's been like inside observing it, it's like unreal. And TikTok, I think, plays a role in that as well.
So that was something else I wanted to ask you, was in the growth of organic traditions, especially like outside of your brick and mortar retailers, where do you see a lot of your growth come from? Is it, Instagram in terms of creators? Is it advertising, TikTok, Amazon advertising?
The biggest bump in growth we've seen in the past year has definitely been Amazon. Shopify's grown, like our own website has grown double digit as well, but Amazon is like over 100% growth every single year. And I honestly think it's adding one thing to your cart when you're on Prime is such a low friction, low barrier way to try something, versus going to a brand's website and needing to like hit the shipping minimum and search for like what you're looking for. Like Amazon just has so many eyeballs there. And so for any brand that's honestly trying to grow and scale, I'd say, I think there was initially a bit of like it wasn't seen as good to grow on Amazon versus your own website or retail or through like affiliate. And now I think that that's shifted a lot, and there's massive brands doing millions and billions of dollars on Amazon, and people should really take a hard look at how much they can grow on Amazon.
And so is that like words of encouragement for anyone listening that is a CPG brand, like you mentioned?
Yeah, I would say, but you have to also be really careful with the profitability, because not everything is a SKU that can work on Amazon. There's a lot of fees, there's a lot of back end stuff and chargebacks. So I think it's absolutely can be like a growth rocket, but you have to really know your numbers and have the right partners.
Thank you so much for listening. If you loved this episode, it would mean so much to me if you took a few seconds and shared this on social media, sent it to a friend, or left a 5-star review. There is power in community, and I'm so grateful to have you part of mine.